we took it up to Bridgeport, and actually there's quite a good story if one is interested in the process of inventing and also is interested in America's position as a country that used to, promote inventing and support inventors and so on. I likewise unwisely accepted this job in Bridgeport to shoot a traveling shot through this whole long industrial building full of craftspeople, guys running printing presses and women doing weaving and a guy making stained glass and a potter on the wheel and so on, who'd been given the opportunity to use this big industrial space, and the gas heat was supplied by the gas company, right? Well, the gas company wanted to show off their generosity by having a shot traveling through all this, one shot showing all this stuff. Not impossible to do it on a dolly, terrible floor. I said, I'm your man. We're coming there. The crane version was not really finished yet. The fiber bundle was lousy and so on. But I mean, hey, the call comes, you got to say yes and try, right? So I had a mechanic who was working on it, and the very night before the shoot, it's almost done. He had like 3 holes to drill and a couple little parts to make. And my assistant Ellen and I show up at 7 o'clock, a little late, but he was going to drill 3 holes, and he said, I can't do this tonight. I have men to supervise tomorrow. He wouldn't work past 7 o'clock. And we argued, we fought with him, nothing, no. I have men to supervise tomorrow. And we were in despair because the shoot was the next morning in Connecticut. The thing didn't work yet. So Ellen and I stopped on the Jersey Turnpike and worked the payphones trying to find a machine shop somewhere along the way that we could keep open to make these parts, right? Bridgeport was the capital of the U.S. machine shop industry at one point. There's a thing called a Bridgeport that's a big milling machine. So we're trying to, find some place in Bridgeport, but there's no yellow pages for Bridgeport. The operator can only give you one number if you tell them what you want. We didn't have anything like the resources we have for searching now. We had, keep putting quarters in a restaurant in the Turnpike, and Ellen bonded with her operator, telling her what we were up to, and her operator said, well, ask me about Bridgeport Tool and Die, because she was looking down the list. And Bridgeport Tool and Die had an emergency number, right? So I call the emergency number, it rings 20 times, and this very tired old voice answers, and I said my pitch. We have this invention, it's going to revolutionize the whole movie business, and my guy just wouldn't make the last 3 holes. We've got to find some place that can drill some holes, and the guy says, hang on. He said, I'm the president of the company. He says, I haven't done this stuff in years, and there's no way that we can get the thing opened up. And I said, I just kept pressed on, and I said, and the guy said to me, I have men to supervise, and he wouldn't drill 3 holes for an invention that's going to change the way movies are made. And there's a pause, right? And the guy, this voice on the end of the phone says, men to supervise, huh? Is that what he said? And he says, that's rich. He says, that's rich. He said, where are you? And when I told him we were in New Jersey still, he almost hung up on me, but he agreed to show up, open his company up in Bridgeport. We got there at 1 a.m. This guy is standing there in a pool of light. He opens the door, he throws on this switch, and here is a machine shop, even then in Bridgeport, that was half unused, half covered with dust. Machines the size that would make a locomotive, And he bustled around and he figured out how to turn his machines on, and he found, tools to make my dinky little parts. He actually started whistling by the end, and handed them off to us at like 2:30 in the morning. And wouldn't take any money. And as I drove away, he says, he men to supervise. He says, I got to remember that one. He says, that's rich. So we were lucky, we got the thing and it worked. And was able to shoot that commercial and get away with it. But there's something in there about this country and the way it used to be and the way it is now, that makes me a little nuts. The occupation of inventor was removed from the census list of occupations in 1949. That's the last year you could list yourself as inventor. So not sure where we're headed. We don't make anything anymore in this country. So.